You are now tuned into FNL Radio.
Keep making noise! Keep making noise! Yeah!
Get ready for Real Talk Radio with DJ Doc.
3, 2, 1, go! It was a Friday night anyways. Friday night. It's Friday.
You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome to all new FNL Radio. It is Friday night, June 6, 2014. People, it's your boy Doc, and got Monique on the line as well.
What up, people?
Now, I know, y'all miss Monique, so she did not fall into the Foxy Brown, area of treatment, people, so we are happy about that, but we definitely helped Monique down last week, so we're happy to have her back.
I'm glad to be back, guys.
Yeah, y'all know.
Spilling the keys and spilling the dirt.
Yeah, y'all know I was a little stuffy last week too, so I was struggling doing the show solo dolo, but even with my stuffed up nose and stuff, but y'all still helped me down. So thank y'all for tuning in, definitely, and thank you all for all the support as always. But tonight we got a great show for you all as always. We always got y'all covered for the latest music and entertainment news, with our little twist. Sometimes maybe a little ratchet, sometimes maybe outspoken, sometimes I might go to jail for things I might say, but hey, it is what it is, and that's what this radio show is all about. So if you got your opinions, you want to call in, people call in 267-630-4365 if you got some opinions. I put the number all out there on Twitter and Facebook and everything, so y'all make sure y'all tune in, call in, all that good stuff. But right now, we've been going to, I haven't been putting it in the prayer box. I think Monique has, but Chris Brown, we've been talking about him for like damn near every show since we started the show back in February with his legal troubles, this, that, and the other. But Chris, he's out of jail now officially, so he gets a clap bravo for being out of jail. Now they were a little dramatic with his welcome home party. They'll act like this nigga did like 10 years in the pen, but he only was in jail for 107 days or something like that. They doing welcome home backyard parties in LA, like he was on Boys in the Hood and stuff like that. I was like, what kind of ratchet behavior? He was only in jail for a few minutes. Like, y'all act like he was gone doing 20 years in the bed. Like, he was only gone for a little teeny bit, for real. Like, you can count on your fingers those amount of days. Well, some people, but hey, you can count on your fingers those amount of days that he's actually been in jail. So Karate Chop threw him a little surprise birthday party, and Chris, he picked up some weight in jail too. He's looking a little teen chunkish. He really picked up some weight. Tiger, Big Sean, some other.
Amber Rose was in attendance, and
Mama Joyce in the boulder that was through the window of her car that Chris threw in before came in attendance as well. Some other people that look like they were just family members from the cookout real quick. It was, a nice little gathering for him. He's been out of jail now for a couple of days, for like almost a week now. So, we shall see. We're doing a little countdown here to see if Chris can actually stay out of trouble for this amount of time that he's been out of jail now, because, the album's still not...
Yeah, and he states that he is totally done with drugs and things of that nature. He states because he does not ever want to see the inside of a jail cell again. So, like I said, we will be watching him to see if he can keep his word, if he is a man of his word. And just hopefully he can, like I said, stay out of jail and really, get back to what to what he's supposed to be doing, which is concentrating and focusing on his music. So.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell that jail humbled him too. Like we were saying this, a few weeks ago when one of those pictures surfaced of him being in the courtroom and stuff like that with his peasy head. You can tell that he was very humbled by being in jail because, people have been in jail for way worse things, and he was just in jail for, allegedly saying he was good with guns and knives and getting kicked out of rehab and touching on females in the jail cell. In the rehab center. And then punching a fan in the nose in DC outside the tour bus, blooding his nose up and stuff like that. Knowing he got a problem with his fist, because I mean, did y'all see we all know what happened with the Rihanna situation. So I mean, he is good with his fist, and I'm pretty sure he's good with guns and knives as well. He probably is about that life, but he may not need to be about that life for the time being, because, you know, he needs to just calm down. You know, jail, like, it's, you know, made him a little better of a person, made him grow up, because, you know, he always was a childish person. I mean, just from the, you know, looking outside, you know, in like the whole situation, you know, he always seemed like the immature person that always seemed like, oh, he can get away with whatever because he's Chris Brown. But now look like he's really that young grown man that he's supposed to be at 25. So, you know, that's a good look that he's, you know, stepping up to the plate, you know. So, but we will see, you know, and he, like, you know, when he was saying he, you know, wants to be clean of everything right now. Allegedly, I'm saying allegedly because, you know, we still have not seen this yet. You know, he hasn't been on social media, but only for a few days, and he just said humbled and blessed on Twitter. But he, you know, cutting off all the bad seeds out of his life right now. So he's cutting off all the bad people that he was hanging with, you know. So that means no niggas after 5 p.m. to talk to on the phone or on Twitter or on social media. Make sure you talk to white people after those times too. White people can be a little turned up too, but hey, white people are a little classy with theirs. So we're going to see how this whole so we're going to see how this plays out until the end of the year. Like, I'm gonna get.
And I think also, you know, if he continues to get the help that he needs, you know, continue with therapy, continue with, you know, anger management, take his meds, you know, consistently, and if he is compliant with a really, really good treatment plan, I think that he'll do well. You know, I'm going to always keep him on the altar, put him in the prayer box, all that good stuff. But I do believe that he will do well if he continues with a good treatment plan.
Yeah, so.
And if he's compliant with it. So.
Yeah, so.
We'll go back and like you said, we'll see what happens by the end of this year.
Definitely. And we're, you know, because that's when all the turn-up stuff start happening. You know, it's almost Labor Day weekend coming up soon. So, you know, 4th of July is getting ready to come up. You know, all the summer weather where you just want to act up and get ratchet real quick. So we're going to see how he, you know, all eyes are on you, Chris. So, you know, we're going to, like we said, we're going to put you in the prayer box. You know, I'm not going to confuse you with my tithes and offerings, but I am going to put you on the altar real quick one day. We shall see, you know, but hey, it is what it is. So that's a real good look. But speaking of, and one more thing too, I got to say, because y'all know I've been talking about this girl for a long time on the show. Karate Chop, after looking at the pictures and seeing how down she's been, like she's been the real ride or die chick. Even though I sometimes do miss, you know, Rihanna and Chris together, I do think that Karate Chop is a good fit for him. You know, she seems like she's an alright girl, you know, so no more hate towards Karate Chop. I'm still not going to call her Karuchi Transvestite, but I am going to still call her Karate Chop because that's the only way I know how to pronounce her name. And it sounds like Karate Chop. So, Karate Chop, you know, you get the clap bravo for being a ride or die chick real quick. But moving on to Rihanna now. Rihanna, she hopped up on the scene at the CFDA Awards this week in New York. And she came dressed very revealing, if you will. You know, she hopped up on the scene with the jigger jaws all turned out and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure and I don't want her titties to be sagging to her nipple, to her knees when she gets, you know, 30 years old. But like my mom was saying, Rihanna need to wear a bra sometimes because, you know, them jugs can hang down low to the ground like a chain down low, like, you know, shot the jibs, and it could, you know, it could scratch the surface, you know, in a few years. So you may want to quarter them up a little bit and, you know, control them so they won't drag down to the ground. But she wore this see-through mesh kind of Swarovski crystal type of situation, and she was actually channeling Josephine Baker. And for those that don't know, Josephine Baker used to be a little turned out thought back in the day too. So she allegedly. Allegedly, but that's who she was channeling, you know, even though the nipples were out and she was in front of all the white people and stuff like that. She got the award for the style icon. So Rihanna, for the past year, we've been seeing Rihanna in all different types of attires. You know, we've been seeing her in all different type of outfits and different type of situations, from the doobie wrap to the doo-doo balls on her head at the iHeartRadio Music Awards to the pink wig recently. So, you know, we've seen her in a lot of different styles. And, you know, she is kind of like a style icon, because if you look from back when she first hopped on the scene, she was a little island girl back in 2005, who we thought was going to be a one-hit wonder, and I'm calling how it is. We all thought she was going to be that one-hit wonder just upon the replay, because that other song didn't do good on the charts, and then the album just went gold barely, and you know, we thought that was it.
Well, yeah, I think back then she hooked up with the right team of people that, you know, really put her brand out there and help her change her career.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, she has come a long way style-wise, and she takes a lot of risks, some that you just can't do every old day, because, you know, you just can't, some people just can't do it, you know, and some people try out here in the 757 in particular. I'm not going to call no names out, but I've been seeing them at stores and stuff, but some people need to learn, only if, you know, you can't do what Rihanna do all the time, people, you know, you got to learn to choose your battles wisely, so... It, you know, it is what it is, but so that's a good look for Rihanna right there, for, you know, taking home that award and stuff like that. But another reason why Rihanna is in the news this week, and it was just today recently, that she we know Rihanna is good for clapping back at someone real quick on social media. You know, we talked about her a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, when she talked about the fan looking like the Wu-Tang sign and stuff like that.
Yeah, the little young girl who was like 16 or 17 years old. And so now she's clapping back at TLC, correct?
Exactly, at TLC now. You would think that, you know, why would she be clapping back at TLC? Now, we know she was talking about Charlie Sheen last week, too. I talked about that, too, last week, when she called Charlie Sheen the old queen and stuff like that. But Rihanna came for TLC because TLC did an interview in Australia, because they over in Australia right now on their tour, and they didn't hold back after they were asked some questions about, you know, artists selling, you know, sets to sell records, and this was right after her appearance at the CFDA Awards earlier this week. So T-Boz said, you know, because T-Boz, she's outspoken one of the group, she said, every time I see you, you don't have to be naked, and it's hard for us to say anything, because anytime we say something, it's TLC. Oh, they must be jealous. First of all, let me say this. It is what it is. I call a spade, okay? We sold and became the biggest girl-selling group of all time with our clothes on. That says a lot. It's easy to sell sets. We can go around with boobie cakes all day long. They're small. We don't have a lot, but they're still boobie cakes. So, y'all know the Navy not going to stand for, you know, just a little fight. You know, they're going to go for the big juggler. They're going to go for the, you know, trachea and everything like that. So they alerted Rihanna, you know, that someone from the Navy headquarters hit up real quick, was like, yo, T-Balls and, you know, Chile over in Australia talking some shit. So Rihanna not being the one to hold her tongue at all, you know, because she's still not on Instagram, but she sure can take to Twitter and Facebook real quick. So she said, when there's no change in the fact that I'm me and they're, well, they're them, fuck what an old thought gotta say. So then she changed her Twitter background to a photo of TLC topless from back in the Crazy Sexy Cool days, when they were doing the Vibe article and stuff like that, and they were covering their breasts. Then she changed her Avi to Kanye West looking on the ice cream cone. Then she had this caption with the picture of Kanye looking at the ice cream cone, being careless, you know, just being carefree, saying, fuck what an old thought gotta say. So, you know, we had this thing where, you know, we gotta respect our elders sometimes, but is this a case of having to respect our elders?
I mean, I think so. Like you said, you know, just show the respect, you know, for the people that have paved the way for you. You know, because if it was not for them, you know, you may not have the platform that you have now. So, you know, again, you know, regardless of what your opinion is, sometimes you need to just keep your opinion to yourself and just show a little bit of respect.
Yes. And
I mean, that's how I feel about the situation.
And TLC, you know, y'all know I'm a 90s kid, you know, so I love TLC, but then at the same time I love Rihanna too. But it's kind of a conflicted kind of thing, because it was kind of like I'm pretty sure they, at that time, they couldn't afford no clothes.